Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. As Academic Registrar, it is both my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the Cambridge Corn Exchange for this afternoon's Anglia Ruskin graduation ceremony. We've all gathered here today to celebrate the success of the class of 2018. Graduation ceremonies follow a tradition that dates back to the 15th century, and it is a tradition that has developed since. Roughly translated, graduation means taking a step, and graduation symbolises the move of the former student, now called a graduand, into a new role in society as a graduate, where they will use the skills and talents developed during their studies to contribute to the future advancement of society. Each graduand will cross the stage and shake hands with the Vice-chancellor to symbolise their transition to this new role. We will applaud them for their success so far, but also in anticipation of the contribution we expect them to make to society in the future. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the Vice-chancellor will formally admit all new graduates to the community of scholars, and as new members of that community, as the academic procession leaves the stage, the new graduates will join the procession, and that will bring the ceremony to a close. So it's now time for us to begin our formal proceedings. I hereby declare the ceremony to be in session, and I call upon the Vice-chancellor, Professor Ian Martin, to address you all. Vice-chancellor.
Graduands, family, friends, colleagues, as Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, it's my very great pleasure indeed to be here today at this, your graduation ceremony. Firstly, congratulations on reaching this really significant milestone and graduating from your chosen course. Enjoy today, take stock and celebrate. But also, spend a little bit of time thinking about what stretches out in front of you and the multitude of careers that each of you will follow. We will have succeeded in our task if we've given you the skills and the confidence to build those careers and influence and lead the change that will make a difference to the communities you live and work with. Before I talk about what's happened across your university over the last year, I want to make a few comments on the future roles that you will play. Firstly, to return to leadership. I hope very much that each of you will see that as a key part of what you bring to the communities you live in, work with and serve. I'm not in the main talking about the big L leadership that comes with jobs with title, but the much more important little L leadership that each of us must bring to our work life, our community life, our family life, to improve things in our own area of influence. We need your passion, your enthusiasm, and above all, your growing expertise to help address many of the challenges we face regionally, nationally, and indeed globally. Above all, I believe we need you as experts. Experts who are prepared to engage in debate. Experts who happily harbour rightful doubt. And above all, experts who work to ensure that the decisions that society makes are built solidly upon evidence, albeit tempered by a large measure of social justice. That expertise and the power of the academic and scientific process have underpinned almost all of the progress that society has made over the last 200 years. But being an expert is not the same as having no doubt and no uncertainty. Indeed, the true expert is the honest broker who shares both the strengths and gaps in current knowledge with others. Experts who hold no doubt are almost as dangerous, and perhaps even more dangerous, than fanatics who hold opinion without evidence. For me personally, looking back over the past 100 years and reflecting on the words and thoughts and writings of some of the great thinkers have really helped me frame up how I interpret evidence and expertise. And as you leave here, I would encourage you to continue to do the same. Look forward, but at the same time, build a complex picture of how we've got there by looking back. Bertrand Russell, whose views were, when he wrote them, and in many quarters still are, regarded as controversial, said, "To teach how to live without certainty, and yet without being paralysed by hesitation, is perhaps the chief thing that philosophy, but I personally would add to that education, in our age can do for those who study it. Words that are as true now as when they were written 70 to 80 years ago. My second thought is that we're in quite challenging times at the moment, but above all, go out from here and do not be ground down by those that say everything's going backwards, everything's getting worse. Yes, there are real challenges. Yes, there are real things that our society needs to change. But if you had to choose any time in the last 2 millennia in which to live, you'd be hard-pushed not to choose now. It's up to you to make the most of it and help as you go forward to make sure that those benefits we can enact now are felt by everybody in society, not just a privileged few. All of this is also a timely reminder that the generation of knowledge, the iterative process of discovery, the ability to doubt and challenge accepted views have underpinned almost all of that progress. Those are the reasons we have universities. Those are the reasons why we exist as a university. They sit at the heart of what we do, and they will continue to sit at the heart of what we do if we are to justify our futures. To each of you, you can and must make a difference to those around you, to the wider community, and I know for some of you, through leadership on a much bigger stage. To turn now to this, your university. The 2017-18 academic year, the year of your graduation, marked our 25th as being a university. A milestone in a history that started not far from here in 1858 with John Ruskin's inaugural address at the opening of the Cambridge School of Art. The power of education, the importance of providing access to that education, and breaking down established paradigms and challenging what was regarded as normal at the time, innovation, for want of a better word, were part of our institutional DNA from that day onwards. Over the past 25 years, you today will be joining a community of more than 150,000 students who've crossed a similar stage to today and become an alumnus of Anglia Ruskin University, studying qualifications ranging from architecture to zoology and a great deal in between. Over each of those 25 years, there have been major changes and developments to the university, and this year's been no exception. The last 12 to 18 months have seen more change in the external environment impacting on universities than almost any time in the last 3 decades. This has produced, and I'm afraid to say will continue to do so, a great deal of uncertainty for us and all universities. Certainly more than we've been used to, probably more than we're comfortable with, but for us, it's important, despite all of that uncertainty, to remember why we're here. You are why we're here, delivering on our mission to make sure we transform lives through the delivery of innovative, inclusive, entrepreneurial education and research. Despite that external environment, the university is in good heart. We've grown across our institution. We've seen developments in many areas. As some of you will be aware, we secured for the County of Essex the first medical school in the county, and our first 100 students have just started their degree study in Chelmsford. A very significant achievement that builds on a very long tradition of high-quality education here. We were named as Partner of the Year at the Chartered Management Institute's inaugural Higher Education Awards, and one of our students was recognised at the same awards as the Student of the Year. This is just but one example. We've embraced new approaches to education and have led, in many ways, the push towards offering degree apprenticeships, and more than 10% of the country's total starters in degree apprenticeships came from ARU in the last year, a figure that is likely to double this year. Our research and innovation portfolio has grown substantially. We've graduated more PhD students than ever before. We've worked with the regional councils and organisations, and just this week we've started work in Harlow on a new innovation hub in partnership with Essex and Harlow councils. And we've been appointed as one of just 2 university partners to work with the NHS, delivering the Clinical Entrepreneurs Programme, bringing new innovative treatments into the NHS. We've invested in our infrastructure, both digital and physical, across our university. But ultimately, It's not the buildings that matter, it's you as our alumni that matter. We can continue to do what we do, and we will do it to the best of our ability. But for us to maximise what we do, we need the ongoing engagement from our friends, supporters and alumni as we go forward. That support, which takes many, many, many forms, really matters to us. It's added value to the education we provide our students. It helps our researchers push boundaries and gives us the opportunity to engage in a wide range of activities that support the cultural, social and economic well-being of our host cities and the wider region. Our commitment is to do what we can do to the best of our ability. We will be able to do more if we work with others across our region. In closing, I have to make special mention of your families, your friends, your supporters, some of whom are in the audience today, some of whom are joining us in spirit, who've helped you, nurtured you, and provided you with support to get to this really important milestone today. That support's taken many forms: moral, spiritual, all too often nutritional, and certainly, I know, in many cases, financial. And on behalf of everybody at our university, can I thank all of you for the support that you've given our graduates to help them get to the stage today. I also have to acknowledge and thank my staff colleagues across the university. They are a very special group of individuals who contribute hugely and care greatly about the mission of our institution. It is a privilege to be the Vice-chancellor of a university where we have that staff philosophy and the staff values we have. I also have to acknowledge our governing board, whose wisdom and guidance has really helped shape this, your university. Wherever your degree takes you, I wish you well. I hope that you do continue to stay in touch, because whether you like it or not, you cross the stage today, your success and our success are inextricably linked. I conclude with a final quote from Bertrand Russell. "The good life is one inspired by love and guided by knowledge." Enjoy today. Congratulations from all of us.
Vice-Chancellor, thank you. So now we come to our main business for today's ceremony, the presentation of those receiving awards. And I call upon Dean of Faculty, Dr. Apurba Kundu, to come to the podium to present to the Vice-Chancellor graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. Dr. Kundu.
Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. For the award of Foundation Degree in the Arts, Public Service, Randa Lubovsi. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honors, Public Service, Michael Crouch. Vakar Elahi. Also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project in Public Service, Holly Rebecca Hazelgrove. Benjamin Honeysett. Jack Robert Jeffrey. Arkash Khan. William Platt. Mitchell Smith. Talia Wilkie. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honors History, Ross Anthony Holman. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honors Politics, Nadine Archer. Sam Bennett. Randolph Alexander James Fields. Harry Richard Plaistow. Grant George Rose. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honors Criminology, Rosie Ashwell. Vanessa Bartosova. Karen Brettel. Shelby Breward. Catherine Rose Burgess. Victoria Sikai. Mariana de Murta Egrillo. Joel Duckett. Angie Dunn. Tamara Elizabeth Evans. Jade Gatt. Byron Geldard. Jasmine Gent. Claudia Gloaska. Ben Goodwin. M. Hawkins. Matthew Hayward. Tara Leanne Hausago. Jessica Hunter. Yusuf Isiktan. Goodwin Izedonwen. Edward Jensen. Benjamin Karosman. Orla Elsa Cooley. Laura Jane Lawless. Rosie Leach. Megan Limbert. Gerda Marska-Skaite. Megan Maxwell. Victoria Emily McCarthy. Lyric Lee McDonald. Also receiving the Philip Lotz Prize for Best Major Project in Criminology, Brenna Francis McRandall. Azim Naushed Mohammed. Ashley Nye. Jessica Pataki. Naomi Philpott. Sophie Powter. Sophie Rowell. Chloe Smith. Kimberly Springle. Rihanna Wiggin. Naomi Wildgoose. Megan Wolstenholme. Ting Wong. Noluntu Zile. Marta Maria Bidzinska. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honors, Psychology and Criminology, Serena Clark. Rutendo Lynn Mupanguri. Henrietta Okundaye. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honors, Criminology and Sociology, Brittany Adams. Georgia Benjamin. Maggie Bennett. Ashante Boyce. Bethany Jane Flynn. Paris Furness. Xanthi Gerati. Holly Grace Jones. Marcella Kowalczyk. Catherine Martel. Jennifer Rochelle McCracken. Grace Victoria Pruitt. Also receiving the Cheyenne Williams Prize for Best Major Project in Criminology and Sociology, and the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences Prize, and the McLeod Prize, Paige Quigley. For the award of Master of Arts, Criminology, Munad Mahmoud Abdullah Al-Hassani. Nathan Donald George Archer. Arian Chibaku. Jennifer Holly Dean. Robin Joe Dewberry. Mohammed Rizwan Iqbal. Ashley James Langrish. Christina Louise Norris. Ten Hang Rai. Katie Jane Reed. Emily Ann Verney. For the award of Master of Arts, Transnational Crime, Bernadette Magdalene Callahan. For the award of Bachelor of Arts, Sociology, Kunle Jolaoso. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honors, Sociology, Lena Begum Ahmed. Elizabeth Badcock. Joanna Rita Coelho Melo. Ashari Shante Craig. Also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project in Sociology, Katie Goodall. Craig Ireton. Kate Latimer. Amy Lewin. Vishali Parmar. Sophie Elizabeth Pettit. Joe Richardson. Kane Robinson. Caitlin Stock. Georgia Twining. Helena Woodley. For the award of Master of Arts, Sociology, Laura Michelle Cobbin. Alice Crouch. Carl Vincent Jones. Georgia Ann Taylor. For the award of Master of Arts, International Relations, Sarah Khaled Al-Barbari. Abdul Aziz Mohammed Salim Al-Sahi. Mohammed Salah Al-Dimor. Taki Bader. Kristen Giovanna Cataldo. Mohammed Muzamal Dogar. Joan Nosokon Letangule. Cynthia Newbegin. George Jonas Rhodes. Vice-Chancellor, that partially completes the list of graduates for me to present to you today.
Dr. Kundu, thank you. Each year, Anglia Ruskin University confers a number of honorary awards to individuals outstanding in their field of endeavour and who we hope will act as a source of inspiration to those of you crossing the platform today. Their stunning achievements should make us realise that our own success to date is merely a starting point, and they pose the question, shouldn't we too aspire to success such as theirs? I should now like to call upon Colleen Moore, Deputy Head of Department, to come to the podium to read the citation for the award of Honorary Fellow Honoris Causa to Nora Al-Ani.
Thank you. I just want to say I'm really proud of you before I say this. Vice-chancellor, it's my pleasure to read the citation for Nora Al-Ani for the award of Honorary Fellowship. Nora Al-Ani is a passionate agent of social change, a founding member of the Cambridge Women's Consortium and director of Cambridge Rape Crisis Centre. Born in Kirkuk, Iraq, to an Iraqi father and an Irish mother, who's here, Nora came to the UK as a youngster and has lived in Cambridge since 1980. In 1989, she took a job at the Cambridge Women's Resources Centre, initially working as a cleaner, later as a receptionist, that's when I met her, and ultimately as training coordinator. By 1994, she'd become Women's Training Network Director for England. In 2001, Nora was appointed Community Development Officer for BME Communities at Cambridge City Council, soon progressing to the position of Equalities Manager within Cambridge Community Development, where she would stay for almost a decade. In 2010, Nora was appointed Development Officer of Cambridge Rape Crisis Centre, or CRCC, as it's more commonly known. Her impact was both immediate and far-reaching, and her efforts were rewarded by her appointment as Director of CRCC. Since taking over the reins at CRCC, the organisation has expanded support and service provision enormously, by growing the Centre's annual budget from about £50,000 in 2010 to almost £250,000 today. Nora has been able to develop a range of wraparound support services to survivors of rape, sexual abuse, and sexual violence in Cambridgeshire. In 2017, CRCC helpline volunteers answered over 1,000 calls, and their specialist counselling services provided one-to-one support for 470 clients. They also employ their own independent sexual violence advocates and a specialist children's and young people's independent sexual violence advocate, whose role is to help anyone who's suffered sexual violence to navigate the criminal justice system. Nora's achievements at CRCC have been recognised nationally. In 2012, she was appointed as Eastern Regional Representative for Rape Crisis England and Wales, and later elected as trustee and board member. In 2015, Nora was a guest speaker at the Women of the World Festival in Cambridge. In 2016, she was a speaker at the Festival of Ideas. And in 2017, she was keynote speaker at the International Conference, Gender-Aware Sex and Relationship Education, Approaches to Tackle Gender-Based Violence, organised by Cambridge Centre for Social Innovation and the think tank GenPol. Our university enjoys close ties with Nora. She's participated in panel discussions, film screenings, Q&A sessions, and she's worked for International Women's Day hosted at ARU. And last year, she worked closely with one of our third-year criminology students, later applying findings from the project to enhance practice at CRCC. Nora has also been an enormously positive influence in our working group, Sexual Respect, at ARU. In light of the global #MeToo movement and Cambridge University's Breaking the Silence campaign, our acknowledgement of Nora's achievements sends out a strong public message that Anglia Ruskin University fully supports the outstanding work done by Nora and her colleagues at Cambridge Rape Crisis Centre. Nora is a tremendous advocate for women and girls, an inspiring figure wholly committed to creating a world free from sexual violence. We are delighted to welcome Nora Alani to our Anglia Ruskin community. Vice-Chancellor, it's my pleasure to present Nora Alani for the award of Honorary Fellow.
As Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I'm delighted to make the award of a Fellowship of Anglia Ruskin University honoris causa to you, Nora Alani. Congratulations from all of us. So we just need to do the frontwards one.
Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests and students, I can hardly express how honoured I am to be standing here today to receive this honorary fellowship from Anglia Ruskin University. And to be in the company of all of you graduating today, I congratulate you and celebrate in your amazing achievements. I wish you well in whatever you go on to do next and hope that you are free to live your best lives. I have been fortunate enough to have met and worked with students and staff at ARU in connection with my organisation, Cambridge Rape Crisis Centre, and I have learnt so much and been inspired by so many of you. If I had told my 16-year-old self that one day I would be standing in front of all you lovely people, receiving this award in recognition of my work in the violence against women and girls sector, I would not have believed it. I left school at 16 with very little in the way of formal education. It would be many years later that I would return to structured educational environments and to fully enjoy, appreciate, and benefit from them. This, I realize, is how I have lived much of my life. I have done what so many of us do that makes up a life lived well, but I have not necessarily done them in the right order. But I want to assure you, I did not leave school empty-handed, nor was I a lazy student. I did spend some of my time doing very meaningful things. They just weren't on the curriculum. As one of only 3 children in the school from an ethnic minority background, and having left our home in Iraq only 6 years before, our family were coping with the financial constraints experienced by those living in exile far from their lives. And for me, this meant having to have free school dinners and grants to buy my school uniform. So I was acutely aware of the social and cultural barriers faced by minority, underrepresented, and often underserved communities. I once spent a maths lesson where I should have been learning about fractions, writing a letter to the PE teacher to say how unfair I thought it was that girls weren't allowed to play football and that we could only choose between hockey or volleyball. Or the French lesson that I missed, spent instead waiting outside the office of the head of year to say it didn't seem right that those of us from families on low incomes couldn't go on the school skiing trip. Of course, I wasn't always doing such worthy things with my time. I spent far too much time smoking behind the bike sheds, working out what rules I could bend or possibly break, and generally being a challenging teenager. But it is perhaps not surprising that I have dedicated my working life to work alongside those who fight for social justice and social change, and more specifically, the fight for gender equality and an end to violence against women and girls. These are very complex times in the violence against women and girls sector, with the polarization of the issues being very stark. As those who have been silenced and disregarded for so long rise up and speak out, the backlash has been ferocious. Whilst we have seen examples of positive change, such as the re-emergence of the Me Too campaign, the exposure and condemnation of the President's Club for what it was, and the Nobel Peace Prize awarded this year for the first time to those who have campaigned to end rape as a weapon of war. Yet at the very same time, we have witnessed some of the most powerful roles in Western politics being filled by those who stand accused of perpetrating sexual violence. So this is not the time for us to sit back and relax and to admire the changes and gains we have achieved over the last 3 decades. It is the time to guard those gains and to ensure they are not diluted or dismissed altogether. And that is not always easy. It's only fair and honest for me to say that to stand up, to be counted, and to call out what you see as an injustice will not always result in financial gain or securing status. And you are very unlikely to win the Most Popular Person of the Year award. Because where there is change, there will be resistance. When you push against something that is established, that is considered the norm, and ultimately that which benefits those in power, change does not come easily. So very understandably, it can sometimes feel more comfortable to do nothing, to stand still and stay silent, and hope that someone else will call it out, or that social evolution and the passing of time alone will resolve things. But history tells us that they don't. It requires us to come together, to be courageous, individually and collectively, and to take a stand even when those around us would rather we didn't. We are, of course, all wonderfully unique and will follow our own paths, and this way of working and being is not for everybody. But if you do meet a community activist or a change maker along your way in life, make them a cup of tea and encourage them in what they are doing. For any society to flourish and thrive, we both need those that make the boats and those that rock them. I'm often asked how hard it must be to work at a rape crisis centre. But to me, it's a huge privilege to work with survivors of sexual violence, to have them trust us with their stories and to ask us to travel alongside them on their journey to recovery. I am motivated and dedicated to working for all of us to live lives free from the fear and experience of sexual violence. And I want to thank Anglia Ruskin University for believing in me and being proud to stand by me as I feel so very proud to stand by you. I accept this award not just for myself, but on behalf of the women and girls that we work with every day, whose courage and resilience may not be seen by many, but should be known and acknowledged by us all. Thank you.
Nora, many congratulations. We now continue with our main business of today's ceremony, the presentation of those receiving awards. And once again, I call on Dean of Faculty, Dr. Apurba Kundu, to come to the podium to continue to present to the Vice-chancellor graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. Dr. Kundu.
Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to continue the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences for the award of Bachelor of Laws, Natalie Abigail Brown. Elena Sprawson. For the award of Bachelor of Laws with Honors, Mayad Jasmine Hassan Abdullah. Ryan Ahmed. Faisal Mohammed S. Al-Rume. Mohammed Alam. Khalid Abdullah A. Al-Gamdi. Semera Ali. Tamina Mila Ali. Ahmed Yassim Ahmed Sheikh Ar-Rahman Al-Mesa. Sulidi Nael Vieira de Andrade. Harissa Anwar. Also receiving the Mills and Reeve Prize, Liani Barbosa Deathling. Aisha Mohammed Kabir Bashir. Jevin Bath. Bethany Bentley. Mercedes Charmaine Blakely. James Bradbury. Mark James Button. Beatty Chen. Ariana Daniele Dascalu. Sevyan Demiryi. Adam Demjen. Paul Dennis. Connor Douglas. Freya Peta Aggie Dudley. Jesutobi Ebunulua Mabel Candida Edmonds. Dylan Roland Ellis. Bara Ferris. Shannon Gallagher. Abdul Rahman Majed M. Garub. Umutoni Gassana. Camilla Paulina Halas. Kelsey Sean Louise Hutchinson. Oluwasholape EJ. Osman Imtiaz. Jihan Isigun. Merve Kaplan. Janelle Karagozlu. Marvin Karenzi. Also receiving the Mills and Reeve Prize, Karen Catillo. Rufa May Kemp. Louise Kerr. Salman Najad. Collins Tumbari Pakol. Queen Sorbanebari Pakol. Anel Kusanova. Ryan Law. Lauren Louise Lawless. Thomas Matthew Levins. Debbie Lewis. Giovanna Marisa Goncalves Maguejo. Kiran Laxman Mayer. Farida Malik. Nisha Makbul. Chloe McDermott. Angela Nar. Abigail Ogunsanwo. Also receiving the Faculty Student Experience Prize, Deborah Amarachi Onyochia.
Deborah? Oh, Eliana.
Okay.
Sorry.
Pardon me. Ileana Penidaria. Samuel Parnell. Also receiving the Mills and Reeve Prize, Janki Jayantilal Patel. Sonia Prakash Radya. Nelima Rahman. Christina Ring. Chloe Ann Roberts. Amelia Rust. Aisha Sabir. Arti Satanan Dasundaram. Mariam Shakil. Azhar Siddiqui. Mohammed Murad Sultan. Taslin Suna. Kishan Darshan Thakur. Shreya Thakur. Rebecca Turner. Yasmin Louise Underwood. Darren Webb. Richard Weir. Terence Whiffen. Claudia Weimark. Jane Willis. Monica Zagchewska. For the award of Bachelor of Arts Legal Study, Charles Mante. For the award of Postgraduate Diploma Legal Practice, Pak Ha Chan. Nick Clow. Iona Cummings. Sandra Foster. Emily Constantas. Jessica Sage.
For the Bachelor of Laws, Isha Dar.
For the award of Bachelor of Laws with honors, Isha Dar. For the award of Master of Business Administration Law, Ranel Antoine. Jolt Ilja. For the award of Master of Laws International Business Law, Shamsa Zaran Mohsin Al-Rukeshi. Saleh Al-Doseri. Paloma Martinez Botella. Yi Yun Mu. Leo Vaca. For the award of Master of Laws International Commercial Law, Yazan Itea Ala Bakht Almate. Monica Garcia Ilian. Cristina Izquierdo Fernandez. Takunda Trevor Madamombe. Ricardo Sartori. For the award of Master of Laws Digital Economy, Christelle Diomula. Kinamabaimen Giredagu Ikioga. Yes. Frida Amofuomo Inobeme. Sara Soidi Rerizani. Marie-Anne Verselon. Gulhan Yauje. Vice-Chancellor, that completes the list of graduates for me to present to you today.
Congratulations, well done everybody. Thank you, Dr. Kundu. We are now nearing the end of the ceremony, but first I should like to ask Brenna McRandall, one of our wonderful new graduates, to come to the podium to present a vote of thanks on behalf of all of those receiving awards today.
Oh, wow. All right. Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow graduates. I am deeply grateful to be offering the vote of thanks today on behalf of all of the determined students who have made it to the end goal. First of all, I would like to say how proud I am of us all. Although our paths may not have crossed, we have all no doubt faced adversity along the way, and yet we carried on and we pushed through. Now that takes a special kind of person, so we should all be proud of ourselves. Of course, I think many, if not all of us, owe a special thanks to our lecturers, personal tutors, and dissertation supervisors, as it is with their encouragement, tenacity, academic support, and for some of us, emotional support, that we have made it this far. For many of us, they became more than our lecturers. They became our friends. And ultimately, they were the best kind of friends, as they nourished our determination and acted as a guiding light when things seemed dark for us. A sincere thanks from us all for everything that you have done. Secondly, even though it may at times seem like this to us, our university is not run by our lecturers. There are so many great people working hard behind the scenes. The student services, the IT staff, librarians, shop assistants, catering staff, administrators, Active Anglia, medical staff, security, the student union, and many, many more, each having their own vital role to play in the smooth running of the university. From ensuring we have lecture halls to study in, books to read, and a feeling of security, and returning countless USBs that have been left in computers in the libraries. Thank you from all of us. Last of all, but absolutely not least, we owe our sincere gratitude to those who have given us non-stop support along the road. The amazing people who reminded us of our greatness when we felt small, who celebrated with us in our triumphs when we earned our good grades. Our families, guardians, friends, and significant others, your support has not gone unnoticed. We are all deeply grateful for those who have shown us encouragement and love along this way. On a final note, I address this to my fellow graduates. The fact that we have made it this far, despite everything that stood in our way, despite that undermining voice in our heads telling us that it was too hard, that we couldn't do it, and that it would be okay to give up. Our success is solid proof that we are strong and capable individuals. We have practiced determination, so never stop using it. We have our degrees, but by no means does it end here. No successful person has ever said it only takes a week, a month, a year, or 3 years to be successful. Success isn't the amount of money you earn, your job status, or your level of influence. To me, success derives from a sheer force of will to becoming better, stronger, and happier. Over the last few years, a lot of people have asked me what I want to be once I graduate, and my answer is a simple one: I want to be happy. So even if I never use my degree in my career, I will still be happy because of it, because it has taught me determination, patience, and delayed gratification, 3 things that we wouldn't achieve contentment without. Congratulations to everyone, and best of luck for the future.
Brenna, thank you, and very well done. I now call for one final time on the Vice-Chancellor to address the new graduates. Vice-Chancellor.
And now, will all those who are able, who've been presented to me here on the stage, please stand. As Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I hereby admit you to the degrees, diplomas, and awards for which you've been presented to me here on stage today. As a member now of the community of scholars, take all that you have learned into society and uphold the values of freedom of thought and scholarship. From all of us here to all of you, congratulations. For each of you, your journey has been dependent on friends and supporters, and to acknowledge the great support they've given each of you today as they've crossed the stage, can you turn and face them and return the honour? Thank you. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the ceremony, and I hereby declare proceedings closed. Can I now ask everybody to stand for the academic procession?
I'm going to move so we can vote. Let's do once.